y'all. Drinking coconut from the actual coconut shell versus from a plastic container is actually life-changing. As an island girl, I do recommend. Make sure you get into it. Just finished my Pilates session for the day and I have lots of energy. I was thinking about some of the changes I wanted to make, and one of those things was my weekly routine. Life has been so busy lately between my startup, my full-time career, and content creation. I want to make sure that I center self-care and wellness around all of them. So that is why looking at my routine on a weekly basis would be more ideal compared to doing it on a monthly basis like I've been doing throughout this whole year. And I want to get into that habit. I have a plan to dedicate to 6 months of becoming unrecognizable. You know those trends where they do like become that girl by 2025. 2025 is actually in 4 months. So if I am going to do that challenge where I change in 6 months, it's going to be until February 2025, and I'm so for that. That's what I'm going to be basing my ideal routine around. My juice is done. That's a bummer. I don't have a machete, or you call it machete, to open it, but I'm not gonna use that on camera. I'll do that later. But like I said, it's been super busy for me this year. I've been trying lots of new things and really putting myself out there. So let's talk about this ideal routine. I've been obsessed with Logan. He makes all these cucumber salads on TikTok. I've been following him for a while now, but I haven't got the chance to try his cucumber salad until today. Wait, I actually have the slicer. 1 second. Okay, so we have this slicer. This is an important tool for this salad, okay? The cucumber salad, we need the slicer. I'm gonna be careful though, because I don't want to cut myself. Speaking of tools, it's really important to have the right tools when building your routine. Your new routine depends upon the resources, energy, and time that you put into it. Hold on. Do I need to read the instructions? Okay, so put it like this. Like that. Like what?
Okay. Whatever that means.
This open? I have specific tools that I use when building my routine because every week is actually different for me. It's never the same. And an important tool for me is gonna be my reminder app, my notes app, and my physical planner. If you've been here before, you know for a fact I use my physical planner for every single thing because it has areas where I can plan my week. I can talk about my most critical to-dos, do monthly reflection because there's a journaling portion of my planner. But I've been realizing that I'm looking for more automated resources to plan out my weeks, and that is why I was looking into Notion as well as Milanote. It's a digital platform. It's like a platform that does like sticky notes but digitally, and it will help you to understand what you're prioritizing each week. I think the closer I get to 2025, automation would be more important for me because I just want something that's gonna remind me off the bat. It's something I could find by my fingertips, especially because every week is not the same. So I wanted to mention these tools before we get into actually the template of an ideal weekly routine, because you would be building this routine based on what works for you, what you have to do on a weekly basis, and what you actually care about. But I'm only using half of the cucumber. You know, gluttony is not cute. I know it's really popular for people to eat a whole freaking, you know. Now I'm gonna add the avocado. Now for the moment of truth. This is where he's like shakes it up. I think that's good. It looks so good. Look how good it looks. Y'all, I added some ranch into it. I almost forgot to add. Okay. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. This thing is good. This thing is good. You know, the only thing it's missing is some shrimp. Or some, you know what? Some oxtail. Oh my god, I'm gonna try this again. I don't know how to use chopsticks, and this has been stressing me out, but it's okay. Definitely recommend trying this. I have an idea of what I want each day of the week to look like. Basically, like how much energy I want to use in those days. 3 main areas of my life that I do things actively: my full-time job, my startup, and content creation. And of course, my lifestyle is around all of that. So Monday through Wednesday is really the busy active days for me. Those are the days that I'm going into work, making sure that I'm on top of every single thing, every meeting, every task, every goal. I'm on top of it. I'm communicating with my manager, my teammates, everybody. By the time we're getting to Thursday and Friday, I'm having less work to do. I'm slowing down and getting into the weekend. So Thursday and Friday, the wrap-up days. Saturday is actually a rest day for me. Fold my laundry, catch up with Pilates, take more walks, do my self-care and body care maintenances like my lashes, whatever it may be. And Sunday is another rest day, but also inclusive of prepping for the week ahead, like ironing my clothes if that's necessary, looking at my outfits, the bills, subscriptions, and things I might have to pay in that week. That is how I structure my week. That is the template. And I'll also leave the template link in the description. It's gonna link to a Google document, so you all can use that as inspiration, or you could copy it exactly as it is if my lifestyle template fits your own. To reiterate, across the 3 main areas in my active lifestyle is going to be 3 main goals for each of those. So for example, for my startup, on a weekly routine, I would have a main goal of sending out 1 email to a potential investor. For my job, I have a main goal that week, maybe finishing up a major part of a project before the end of that week. A main goal for my content creation would be editing at least half of a video before Friday so that I could have more time to change anything, add music, and whatever animations I would like to jazz up the video before its upload date Sunday. So that's how I have 3 main goals in each week, and across each month I would have 12 main goals accomplished. The weekly build is what builds into each month, builds into each year. I do it on a weekly basis because it's more bite-sized and it's less overwhelming for me. I realized that planning on a more monthly basis was stressful for me. This weekly routine is definitely more ideal. While I unbox these pimple patches from Patch RX, they sent these over. I usually only have pimples during my menstrual, and as you can see, I recently had it because my breakouts are active, but Patch RX sent these over. And that just reminded me to talk about my new self-care routine, given the weekly routine template that I just shared. Oh, this smells kind of minty. Let me read this. So they have 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. It has active ingredients like tea tree oil, hydrocolloid, and it's cruelty-free. There are 120 patches total. This is what they look like. They're clear. I like it. I'm gonna try them a little later. But these ones, I've never had pimple patches with tea tree oil in them. I'm gonna see what that be like and update y'all. But back to the self-care routine. I actually just got back from Pilates, which is why I drank the coconut water and did a cucumber salad, something light. My meals are usually heavier the further I go into the day. I start off light and go heavier throughout the day. For my new self-care routine, some things that I have to have on a weekly basis: a no phone day. My no phone day is usually a Wednesday and Saturday. It just happens to be that I usually just don't feel like being on my phone by the middle of the week. And on Saturdays, it's just like, okay, the week is done. I don't even need to be online right now. That's what it's like, because maybe I'm socializing, I'm outside more, I'm in nature, I'm doing Pilates, taking care of my body, all of that. So my no phone day is really just for me to be more present and in the real world. Doing laundry on Fridays. This is because whenever I do laundry, ask me when that stuff is getting folded, because the answer might be never. If I do my laundry on Fridays though, I am more likely to fold them because I have my rest day on the weekend, I'm not as busy, and I can just be present, do my laundry, dance, and relax. Next is my Sunday reset. Those are really important. As I mentioned, Sunday is a self-care day, a rest day, but also resetting, so we're preparing for the week coming ahead. Cooking more at home is a part of my self-care routine. Usually when I'm entering fall and winter, I am in the house a lot more, so it automatically means I'm cooking more at home. This is beneficial financially as well as for our health because we're eating less processed food, less fast food. Not saying I eat a lot of fast foods because my mother does own a restaurant. She's a chef. I mostly eat at the restaurant or at home. So I'm always eating home-cooked meals. But getting into the fall and winter, I'm in the house a lot more, so it's mainly me cooking my meals, if that makes sense. Restocking my products. This is not gonna be on a weekly basis per se, but there are gonna be some weeks where I put time for the products that I love the most and making sure I restock them so I have them to use them. Now let's talk about my after work routine. Typically after work, I like to get straight into some relaxation, so I usually shower when I get in from work. Nice little shower with my favorite music. When I'm done, I like to give my body some attention after working in the office all day, really getting recentered in my body and preparing for my evening and maybe the day ahead. On this specific evening after work, it's a Friday and I'm getting ready to go meet up with a friend. I'm sewing down my locks right now because I want a wig to fit flat on it. I wanted to put this wig on since the week started, but I was too busy. But I have these wigs I need to try on and see which of them would go with the mood for tonight. We're gonna go to a steakhouse and talk about some things for my app. Originally, we were gonna go to a rooftop, but they don't take reservations. It's first come, first serve. And I know that that rooftop is called 5430. I know it's gonna be really hot on a Friday, like popular, busy. So I don't want to risk it and go that far just to not have a seat. So we're gonna go ahead and go to a steakhouse and discuss what we need to discuss. So back to what I was saying. Typically on a work evening during the week, not a Friday, I would take my shower and relax after my shower for about 30 minutes to an hour before I get into some things for my startup. If anything needs to be done, like an email being sent or doing a quick little conversation with my technical co-founder about next steps, progress of anything regarding the app. Another thing I look into in my work evenings is going to be any bills that I have coming up, any mail that's incoming, because sometimes I really don't remember I have mail coming and I don't go check the mail. And that's important because brands do send me things, so I need to go and check my mail. I also make sure that every evening I spend at least 20 to 30 minutes editing that week's YouTube video so that it can be on time for that Sunday. Y'all, I'm dedicated. I'm really about my craft. And this is how I do it. And we're done sewing the locks down. Let's see how it fits under a wig. I originally came back from meeting up with my friend, but then I went back out to get something. So at this point, with the weekly routine, this is all about settling in for the night. The routine I have for nighttime is just as important as the one for daytime because it goes alongside productivity, my mood, exactly how I show up that next day. So something I like to prioritize whenever I am winding down for the night is, of course, body care, as well as listening to slower music, dimming the light. Sometimes I even color. I watch podcasts just to laugh or even to be educated. I don't know the names of the podcasts, I just know the names of the hosts, and I know I enjoy them. Whatever I'm watching or listening to towards my bedtime is something that has to be useful, insightful, not really garbage, but I try to keep it balanced. Depends on the type of night. And of course, journaling is a practice that I do every other night, not every single night, only when I feel like it's necessary, because I don't always have something I want to release on paper. But journaling is definitely a practice that I have for when I'm winding down. Last but certainly not least is going to be praying and meditating. Of course, I pray 3 times a day or more. It depends. It could be short prayers, long prayers, medium length prayers. I pray often throughout the day, and nighttime is definitely a prayer I take seriously, because this life is not something I take for granted. I know I'm privileged in certain areas. I have a great family, a support system, wonderful career, things like that. So I do pray over the things that I have. I show gratitude, I thank God, and I also talk to God about my problems and whatever else I want ahead in my future. So prayer is a part of my routine all throughout every day, every week, every month, every year, okay? And that is it for an ideal routine based around my upcoming 6-month unrecognizable challenge. This is a routine that I hope that you are able to pick apart, implement into your own life. Feel free to ask any question down below. Just a reminder, I'll have templates for different portions that I shared within this video, as well as links to resources like the planner and other digital platforms that assist me in ensuring that I stay on track with any routine that I create. If you found this video helpful, insightful in any manner, or even entertaining, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here to the Empressive family, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be reminded whenever I post. And I will see y'all in another video. Bye.